And joining us now are Notre Dame students Rose Hart, raise your hand, there's Rose, Sarah Krumplestatter, and Danny Felton. Rose and Sarah are both residents of Pasquerilla-West and also members of its flag football team. And Danny lives in St. Ed's. Welcome to Notre Dame Day, you guys. So I have to ask you, how was the season? What was your record?
We did really well. We ended up making it to the championship game where we didn't quite win, but it was a close one-touchdown game, which was really cool because we got to play in the stadium. So,
oh, you did?
Yeah,
Notre
the
Dame
championship
Stadium?
game is in the big stadium.
How great is that?
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would think it was pretty awesome. So, women's football, why are you here, Danny?
You know, the first day of practice, I was wondering the same thing.
Here's a boy. What's he doing?
So basically it wouldn't be a fair representation of the P-Dub flag football program if they didn't include at least one representative of the coaching staff. You know, the day in and day out emotional and moral support we gave the girls really drove them to make it to the championship round. Yeah, so you know, we're just as big of a part.
And how did this start with a boy being a coach? Was there a tradition? Does this go back to previous years, or is this something that's new this year?
Yeah, so every girls' dorm does have boy coaches.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Some other girls' dorms are less fortunate and have coaches like Malik Zaire or actual football players, but they got a non-athlete like me, and the other four coaches also. So we all went to the same high school in Cincinnati, an all-boys high school, and it's always been a tradition to have members of our high school coach the team.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just got invited that way.
So tell me about your motivational techniques.
So motivation-wise, before each game, there was a prayer that we would say as a group. One of our other coaches on the defense come up with that prayer. And the girls were kind of skeptical at first, why are we praying before games? But then they ended up loving it. We'd all chant it and sing along. And then other than that, dance parties before games, stuff like that.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much practicing goes on?
We have scheduled practices about once a week, but I don't know how much practicing occurs at those practices.
Okay, so it's all for fun.
It's a lot of bonding.
Yeah.
A lot of bonding.
Yeah.
And do you crack the whip on them?
So I have to sometimes. Actually, Rose and Sarah were famous for not listening to the play calls that I would send in from the sidelines. So other than that, they were well behaved. But that was the one thing that I kind of had to crack down on.
Can you give us some hand signals? I mean, what do you do? How do you signal the plays in? Is it like the Notre Dame football team where they've got the poster board going and the red cap and all that?
Actually, yeah, it is. I wore a red visor, and I did hold a poster board up, so it's strikingly similar, I guess. But we can't really disclose that much of our plays, just
it's
in case the competition is watching. But
give me a couple of memorable moments this past season.
My favorite moment this past season was the semifinals that we played on the Notre Dame football practice fields, actually, and we were against McGlynn's B team as well.
Okay.
And they had knocked us out of the championship, out of the semifinals last year. We had been undefeated, playoffs. We were on the road to the championship, and they knocked us out. So this year, coming back and winning that game was a huge moment for us. Everyone was so excited, and I've never heard so much P-Dub spirit all in one small moment. It was amazing.
What years are you?
Sarah and I are sophomores, and Danny is a freshman.
yeah,
So you're going to be back next year,
absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I wish you all the best success.